Brett Okamoto with ESPN alongside UFC middleweight Kelvin Gastelum. And Kelvin, I don't even know where to begin with this interview. I guess you wake up this morning, you're supposed to fight Robert Whittaker for the middleweight championship, right? Walk me through what happened when you woke up.
Yeah, I mean, I had UFC staff at my door at 7 a.m. this morning. I thought I was the cleaning lady or something. I'm like, I'm just going to let it ring. But no, it went ding, 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 ding. I was like, okay, that's not the cleaning lady. So I opened the door, and UFC staff, obviously, they told me the news, and I was gutted, man. I was gutted. And I know this sport is unpredictable, man, and things happen, but I was gutted, man.
You start talking to your team. You bring them in. You need some alone time. I mean, how do you even try to process something like that?
Yeah, well, it was my coach and the UFC staff, so the whole team knew right away, and I just feel devastated, man. But I got this nice shiny little belt now, and in my world, in the wrestling world where I grew up in, a guy shows up, makes the weight for whatever reason, can't continue on to the competition, and that's a forfeit. Automatically, that makes me the champion, and here I am, middleweight world champion.
Yeah, what does that mean exactly? The middleweight champion in your mind, the middleweight champion as far as everyone else is concerned, the UFC is concerned. What does that mean when you say you're the middleweight champion?
It means I'm the champ. It means I'm the world champion. Rob's out due to injury. That's a forfeit.
When you were around him at all this week, did you sense anything could have been wrong with the guy?
Nah, I didn't sense anything. He looked in great shape. He looked ready. I mean, every time we faced off, he looked mean, and ready to go. But now looking back at it, he didn't do a lot of wrestling in the open workouts. He didn't do a lot of kicking in the open workouts, and those little things that make me think like maybe he didn't want to exert, that or put any pressure on that hernia during the week.
Yeah. Anybody who was worried, I guess, about something weird happening to this main event, I think they were worried about you. They noticed that you had some things on your chin, maybe on the. Can you explain to us what's going? Did you come in with any ailment this week?
Yeah, so it started this week. Stuff on my nose, stuff on my neck, stuff on my face, and stuff kind of all over my body. It was staph that I had, but I wasn't going to let that stop me from fighting.
Was there ever any possibility that the commission would say you can't fight with this? Was it a concern of yours?
It definitely was a concern, dealing with the commission and everything. But I had the doctors give me antibiotics, give me treatment for the whatever's on my face, and it was getting better. It was getting better, and they had no issues with it as long as it was getting better, and it was.
Where do we go from here with you and Rob? What happens next?
Well, just depends on how quick Rob can turn around and make a quick recovery. Obviously, I wish him a speedy recovery. I wish him all the best. I have nothing but respect for him. But once he recovers and heals up, then I'll give him a crack at my title, and maybe we can do it in Vegas or we can do it in L.A.
When this happened, you got the news this morning. Was there any part of you that said, hey, give me Anderson Silva, give me Israel Adesanya? Did you ask for that?
Not really. I wasn't gonna accept any fight that wasn't for any kind of title. You know what I mean? So no, not really.
What's time frame wise? You mentioned Vegas. I mean, is it really just as soon as possible? You want Robert Whittaker immediately? That's the plan, as soon as possible?
Well, if he can make a quick turnaround, then obviously he can fight for the title, or I can fight the number one contender in Israel and Anderson.
I mean, you know how this sport works. Occasionally, guys go out there and they have a spectacular performance. Fans get on board with a certain type of fight. Israel Adesanya is fighting Anderson Silva later. One of those two guys is going to win.
For sure.
If they do it spectacular, are you worried? Or is there any concern that they may jump you in line after all of this?
No, I'm the world champ, man. They can't. They're going to have to face me.
Thank you for the time, Kelvin. Really appreciate it.